Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for yet another match of the London Sevens. This one is an absolutely huge one, and it's not even the final. Fiji taking on New Zealand in the semis. Whoever wins this game, as I've got on my board here, does mean that it will be Samoa versus Australia on the other side. Whoever wins that game will be taking on Fiji or New Zealand in the final, and that will be at 4:58 a.m. New Zealand time, but we will still be up for it. We are currently sitting here at 1:51 a.m., which is actually relatively early for ourselves. But Fiji, they have been able to win three of the last five games between these two sides. And I'm intrigued to see how this lineup does end up going for the Flying Fijians. But if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Looking through at this starting lineup, it is going to be Vakurunabili, there at number one, Thanathai Vata at 5, Dalgunu at 4, Nathunu at 8, Rasaku at 11, Bokayaro there at number 9, and then it will be Nadawalo starting in at number 12. We have got Patty in the chat. We have got Viniana, also Gareth, Ashley, Pink Shirt, Coding, Minecraft, and there as well, Rice, Catherine, and I hope you guys are all doing well and hope you're excited for yet again another match. This one's going to be a huge one between two Pacific Island sides, or I guess Southern Pacific, I should call us at this stage. And it's actually going to be Samoa and Australia, so everyone from that bottom corner of the earth going to be going head-to-head. And the sevens for both of these sides making their way out onto the field now. Looking at the New Zealand lineup quickly. Sam Dixon, Dylan Collier, Kitioni Vai, Joe Webber, Regan Ware, Ronnie McGarvey-Black, who was one of the players that I said will be so important in this matchup. And then Brady Rush slotting in there as the last man. And Germany will win the final two. Says Betty there. And also good luck both teams. Says Gabrielle, exactly right. I'm hoping for a close game just because anytime these two sides play off seems to be that way. But my prediction on my preview was actually Fiji to win by 5. So to go against the Kiwis, which is a bold prediction. Is that my PC again? It sounds like it's like a vehicle trying to take off, which is an interesting one. But now the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, these two sides were the finalists. Why not see Fiji and All Black New Zealand in every final and semi-final of every big rugby tournament? It's so strange. I do other competitions are not competitive, Amish. Says Coding, it just kind of depends on who's actually selected and or I guess who's a part of each competition as well, because in the game of sevens, anything can happen in a short period of time. We've just seen with France, they went from getting 3rd last week to probably finishing about 13th this week in that situation. So it just literally, you can go like that. South Africa, they finished 11th. Now they are finding themselves playing off for 5th up against the Irish, but it's going to be taken quickly by Nadovalo. And at the stage, he goes over and the try in 8 seconds for Fiji. New Zealand caught napping, and Fiji have gone, oh, well, if you're not going to tackle me, Nadawalo goes through and scores himself a try for Fiji. That's not the start to the match that the Kiwis would have been after, that is for sure. But Dylan Collier went up for it, but Vakurunabili Billy just slaps it out of his hands, and then Nadawalo able to take it, going for the corner. This is going to be a tough kick, so that is probably the one benefit for New Zealand in this situation. Nadawalo, he went in, got the try, and that is certainly going to make the Fijian fan come alive for this matchup in London. And also go Fiji. And also we've got there, what's your prediction, Fiji or All Blacks, Amish, for this? I did predict Fiji in my preview by 5. I did go with that one. It's missing away to the right-hand side. So because of that, it does make the score now sitting at 5-0 to Fiji after a minute. Come on, All Blacks, let's do it. And 14-12, New Zealand final score in favour of Fiji from Judah there. Nadawalo scoring his 4th try, Kind of combined 4th and 5th, but I feel like he's getting his 5th extremely soon. Nadawalo kicks it high. Looks awkward for New Zealand. They didn't quite look like they knew where they wanted to go, but Dylan Collier now able to get dragged down. Oh, he's landed awkwardly on the back of the neck of Nadawalo, but luckily he has gone back up to his feet. McGarvey-Black passes off to Joe Webber. Now New Zealand getting wrestled down just outside of their own 22. Sam Dixon going short side. McGarvey-Black off to Dylan Collier now, trying to step through. But the Fijian defence is always defensively sound. That's going to be a penalty, though, in favour of New Zealand. Now Sam Dixon goes off to Joe Webber, trying to break the line, and he's done just that. It's going to be a full race. Bokayaro able to line him up, and there it is, just enough work from Kitioni Vai to hang on to it for the Kiwis, hurdling a couple players, and he's dropped the ball in the process, and they have gone back for the knock-on. And Kitioni Vai, he is furious. And also, I might miss the final. I'm falling asleep. And also, that was a quick strike, says Gabriel. It certainly was way quicker than the Kiwis would have been expecting. That's the thing. They probably expected Fiji to score in the first minute, maybe not in the first 10 seconds of the matchup. But yeah, the final, it is going to be taking place at 4:58 a.m. The loser of this game will be playing at 4:28 a.m. against the loser of Samoa versus Australia. But we will be covering both of those on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Currently 4.5 minutes left. Last two meetings were the Cup final in Singapore and the gold medal match in the Tokyo 2020. Fiji winning both. So New Zealand, it's been a while since they've been able to find themselves a winning combination against the Fijians. Saying that, a lot of teams are in that same boat of not being able to beat Fiji too often at all. But now it looks like Fiji asking for the penalty at scrum time. They don't quite get it, and now it becomes the penalty now. Trying to take it quickly, not quite on the mark. And it looks like they will decide to kick this one for touch, actually, Nathaniel. No, he doesn't. He taps it and goes. He set up as if he was going to kick it for touch and then decided, you know what, actually, we might as well just give it a run. Rasaku, good low tackle on him by his opposite number. Joe Weber straight over the ball as well. And he turns it over clean. Now offload to Dylan Collier, New Zealand. They have this ball just outside of the 22. Dixon across this Kitty Onivai. It's been looking impressive throughout the little bit that we've seen of him this year. And the Sevens, that's another advantage, and that is for a high tackle that time in favour of New Zealand. Now Dylan Collier passes back across the steps from Regan. We are driven backwards in the tackle by Rasaku. 3.5 minutes. We are halfway through this first half, ladies and gentlemen. Now Kitty Onivai gets the bounce pass. Tries to use some of that strength. He's just kept it in the field of play, and I believe that will now be the line out for New Zealand. Also, Fiji has a strong record of winning big matches, such as the finals in the Olympics and World Cup, so strong side to play. So he's going exactly right. When you do think of a side that has been prominent and dominant, I like that combination, prominent and dominant. That is the Fijians in a nutshell there. And they are one of those sides that are always hard to beat in those massive matches and just a match in general. And shout out to the Mano Samoa team, coach and management in there. So here's Donovan. And yeah, at the end of the day, Brian Lim has really helped turn that club around. And they will be looking forward to their next matchup taking place up against Australia in only a very short moment. And that will be the next game that we do cover. It's a good bit of pace from Makavi Black, and he's going all the way and does score it in the corner. Nicely done. Bukayaro tries to stop him, but Makavi Black just uses that pace, and he was really having to pin the ears back to be able to get around the Fijian defenseman. Now, Ronnie Makavi Black does score it with 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Sam Dixon finding the short pass to him, and it was only half a gap. But then from there, Bukayaro was caught on his heels, wasn't able to catch up with him. Makavi Black does end up scoring the try for the Kiwis. So this game just gets a little bit closer. 5-5 now between the two sides. And there will be a kick to come for New Zealand, although it's going to be right near the touchline, so nowhere near an easy kick. Lining it up. That's gone about 3 post lengths that way. So that one's missed. And now it is going to be sitting at 5-5. But tournament points at the moment, he is actually top of the bunch. And Ronnie Makavi Black on 48. Thomas Seen on 44. Terry Kennedy sitting there on 40. And then Juan Ramos on 39. How do you manage that? He must have, he scored a try and also got his conversions for the twos. That makes sense. Now, hanging on to this one, just 10 metres that kick went, but Fiji able to claim it back. 1 minute 30 left of this first half between these two massive teams in the Sevens. Great step there from Nathaniel, unable to drag him down there. Joe Weber, he's just kind of held out at an arm's length, unable to get a good wrap on the number 8. Now, once again, firing it back across. I think Fiji, the tactic for them will be literally that, just putting it a follow up the middle. And that is going to be the try. I was going to say all they're going to try and do is find that line break somewhere along the middle of the New Zealand defence. And he just went straight through already, halfway through the statement. And also come on Fiji's. There's Viniana, and they have just been able to get themselves another try there, Fiji. And it should be a nice, easy kick in the process, which will make the score 12-5. With only a little bit of time left. But Natawalo, he sold the dummy with Makavi Black, unable to stop him. And when he turned over his shoulder, he would have seen no one. That man was already 3/4 of the way gone. And he did get his 5th in this match now that I think about it. But anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back for the final at 4:58 a.m. New Zealand time. And also the third medal match, or the bronze medal match, at 4:28 a.m. as well. But now that one has gone over. The score now 12 points to 5. A good start to the match for Fiji with only 15 seconds left in this first half. We'll just try and close out this clock, I would think, although that's the thing. Fiji don't normally kick the ball into touch if they do end up with it in their hands. Definitely not when kicking this one off. And also finally, there's Catherine there Now that one's been kicked in behind, so they are looking for the touchline. Unable to find it. Kitioni Vai now has got this ball. And New Zealand, they've got to decide whether or not they want to try and kick this ball out when they're only a few metres out from their own line, or whether they want to run it. There was a mistake there. Regan Ware ends up slipping. Now Sam Dixon goes across to McCarvey Black. It looks like New Zealand want to go the full length of the field. And the All Blacks 7 side, it's going to be hard work for them. Kitioni Vai using the size and the strength. He's been wrestled down, though, in the end. It was a good battle between him and Anthony Kaivata. Now, it's a wide cutout pass. It's very risky. It sits up for Fiji. And now Nathunu goes in and scores. New Zealand, it was one of those ones they took the gamble trying to get out from their own and goal area and only inside of their 22, and it backfired. Fiji score. And now going into halftime, they will be down by just a little bit more, the Kiwis. Was the wide cutout pass from Joe Weber. But unfortunately, when that ball didn't find the hands, it was anyone's ball. And Nadovalo, very good at getting that vertical leap. And then the ball fell to him. And he was able to go over the line for the try. And Fiji, they could have themselves a 19 points to 5 lead here and also come on New Zealand. So there's Louis there. And they are certainly going to have to make sure that they do get something right very soon, New Zealand, in that second half. If they do want a chance of beating Fiji, that kick has gone over. So now going into halftime, 19 points to 5 in favour of the Fijians and also Fiji. So there's Viniana there. Some deep breaths for the flying Fijians. I see Balafta. I haven't actually seen too much of him on the field, though. He is currently carrying the drinks by the looks of it and also making sure all the players are nice and cool in this situation. But, yeah, we haven't really seen too much of him running around. Normally that's because he replaces Nathunu, but Nathunu playing very well, as was proven by that last try that he was able to get for himself. But do let me know now that we've seen that first half, do you see any chance that New Zealand can fire back, ladies and gentlemen, or will Fiji be too strong in the semi-final in London? 3 tries for the Fijians, visits the opposition 22-3. So every time they've gone in and they've got points, and also New Zealand's defence slacking. And there, as I said, Rice, although it's extremely hard to defend against Fiji because you never quite know who you're supposed to commit to. If they put 2 men on the same guy, then there's an offload available. And also the fingers crossed for Louis there as well. But anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport channel. That is our second channel, and it is on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're only about 80 away. So if you do want to help us out, that is the link in the chat there, and it is hugely appreciated. Patty, drink cover to keep you awake. So there's Gabrielle there. Oh, actually, it might be Gabriel, sorry. I've been too busy saying like Spanish names and everything along those lines, so I kind of get that going with the tongue, which has caused me to mispronounce some normal names in the process. The Fijians, they want to make it to another final because that will mean not only do they get to hear that Fijian national anthem, they will be able to pick up the child in the middle of the huddle like the Fijians always do. And it is a beautiful moment for the Sevens, and also Tosa Fiji. Says Kitioni and also come on Fiji all the way from Taiwan. Says Kalevi there, and also nothing wrong with the water boy. Says Catherine there. But now currently Australia, they are warming up. They are going to be playing up against Samoa in only about 8 minutes' time. And we will be covering that game on the channel as well, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to stick around for that matchup. And then also we've got the third place and also the final coming up in a few hours' time. Joe Weber just slaps that ball back onto the side of the Kiwis. Nice step from Regan Ware. And now it's a brilliant low tackle made. I believe I want to say the right name there. I think it was Nadovalo who was able to make the tackle. Dylan Collier only a couple meters out. Still goes back for Joe Weber. Finds the offload. A lot of pressure here on New Zealand going close to the touchline. Sam Dixon slings it back across. This is risk and reward factor here for the Kiwis. If they get it right, they get a try. If they get it wrong, Fiji might counter. Kitioni Vai now down the wing, breaking a tackle. Looking for that offload up, unable to do so. And they did actually show an interesting stat before this match got underway, how on average each team averages about 4.1 turnovers per game. Fiji averaged 6.2, an extra 2 that might come in handy for the semi and also the final if they get there. Nice step from New Zealand, but Rush gets driven backwards by the Fijians. I believe they were told to release. They did not, though. Now Nathunu, it's going to be Dylan Collier in the midfield. Goes off to Sam Dixon, getting close, 5 meters out from the line now. McGarvey Black goes out. One more pass, and Kitioni Vai does end up scoring the try for New Zealand. They get one back at the start of the second half, and that now makes the score 19 points to 10. We have got there, sorry, Waterboy unavailable, says Nathan there, and also Tosavitti. And there as well says Meridani. It was nicely done by Joe Weber. Just slaps it back like he was playing volleyball there with the, I can't remember what the name is, but pretty much that part which I think actually volleyball's that part, isn't it? That actually hurts playing volleyball, I've learned. Like after playing it for a while, we had to play it for PE. And like those balls are not as soft as they look. Sounds like a weird statement that I didn't think I'd be making tonight. But Kitioni Vai does put the ball down, scores a try for the Kiwis, and now with a hard kick from the touchline, I'd love for this one to go over, but that is not what's going to happen there. It has gone away to the left-hand side and still 9 points difference between these two sides with 5 minutes left. We're able to have two passes, and I think it was all from that presence and the breakdown of the Fiji, and sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse, and in that one, they did just get it a little bit wrong, which meant Nathuna was actually stuck underneath the breakdown at the time. Dylan Collier gets it to just go the 10, and now Joe Webber, nice step there, still fending, offload to Dylan Collier, and that will be another try for New Zealand. Oh, he almost ended up running dead there, but now New Zealand, they have got themselves 2 tries in the last little while. Can you drop kick in sevens? You can indeed. I think. Yeah, you must be able to. Although I don't think many sides decide to try it anyway, but you are allowed to drop kick. Or in fact, when it comes to like the kicks in general, you actually do drop kick. So I wonder. I'm trying to think of the last time I've seen a drop kick. If I've seen one, and also to my Manu Samoa team, boys, I really need combination. Talk to each other. Take your time, no rush. Defense and tackle for sure. Love you, God bless. And there as well says Donovan. And yeah, at the end of the day, they are going to be coming up very soon. New Zealand need one more. Says Rice, they do indeed. That one has gone over, and now the score is 19 points to 17, and go New Zealand. Says Inaliko in it there as well. New Zealand, 2 tries in a row in the second half. Really trying to build that intensity. 4 minutes left in the game. Fiji have been able to take it that time. Balatha, that looked high, and it's a penalty as well for the high shot from Joe Webber. Probably lucky not to go to the bin, but Balatha is now going to have this ball for Fiji just outside of their own 22. Nathunyo passes back across. Balatha now receives. Wide sling and pass, and that's the thing, Fiji, you never quite know who it's going to until it's gone to him. Dalgunu now short side, almost Rasaku with a little bit of tightrope walking, but it does end up going just into touch for Fiji. Like they're saying, a chess match and a half, 3.5 minutes left of the second half. Go Fiji, says Viniana, but Rasaku just on the line, unfortunately. It was good work from the assistant referee. McCarvey Black with a throw. This game has the potential of once again being a close one. There's us, says Catherine. And also try for Fiji, says Kalevi. Now McCarvey Black. About to throw this one in for the Kiwis. Taken nicely by Sam Dixon. Wide pass from Leroy Carter. Now off to Rokoli Sawyer. Trying to go straight through. He's being dragged down in a 2-man tackle by Fiji. Now Leroy Carter going off to the left-hand side. Flat pass off to Caleb Tangitawa. He's dropped it, and normally I was going to say when he gets going, he's normally gone, but he's dropped it cold there for Caleb Tangitawa. And also, high close match, says Ollie. It certainly is. It looks like Nathunu might have some sort of injury there. Is he all right? Looks like Caleb Tangitawa wants to help him up, or in fact, it's McGarvey Black. But he does not look too flash at the moment. He's just lying down next to the touchline. It's actually not a Walo who has stayed down there, and also have New Zealand drop kick. That's the first time I've ever seen that in sevens, says Louis there. But yeah, I don't think they'd risk it. I think more than likely, like unless they try and pull off a Blues, which is get 2 in a row for 2 weeks. And that's a brilliant tackle from Nadawalo. He well and truly threw his body into that one. Came out second best, but he just pretty much ate the thigh of Caleb Tangitau, but in the process got half that touch on the ball. 2 minutes, 51 left now. Who was that? Someone is running across the field. I think they were on the wrong side. Tackles made so far from Fiji. 17. They've missed 7. And how long's left as well, says Ollie. We have currently got another 2 minutes, 50 left in this matchup. And also the All Blacks, says Abdul Malik there. And the tackles made by New Zealand, they've made 5. They've missed 4 into that process. But now McGarvey Black calling some shots there, making sure that his backline know exactly what they need to do here. It's a good push from New Zealand. And it's now going to be the free kick to Fiji. They waited quite a while to put their ball in. Strategic from the flying Fijians. Now backline, it's going to be in the hands of my son Moore. Now he was able to really break onto the scene in the last game. It's bounced out the side though, and Joe Webber has been able to take it back, wrestled down to the chalk. Short side, Rokolisoa. He's going to get not quite caught. And Rokolisoa scores the try. And New Zealand now will take the lead. And go Fiji, go, says Reginald. And also here we go, they're sending left from Wales, says Ollie. And also All Blacks, please. There's Basan and come on New Zealand, and also we have got the Let's Go New Zealand, says Donovan. So they have taken the lead for the first time now in this game. And it was Rocco Liso, just saw the gap on the short side. Went through my Samoa, almost able to get that ankle tap, and go Fiji, go, says Serena there. And yeah, it's a big question of, we don't even know who's going to win this game, and then we've still got Samoa versus Australia. So either way, whoever wins this game, the opposition still gets the opportunity to face maybe Samoa or Australia in that next leg. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Hex says, Nathan, also, is this the last tournament before we head to the Rugby World Cup Sevens in 2 months, says Roman. Oh, it's close. I think we might still have Los Angeles a bit beforehand. And then also maybe Commonwealth Games might also be around there. And game over, says Kalevi. It's not over yet. Still plenty of time. Nice job here from Fiji. Ball on the inside. Nathunio, he will be gone, or will he? He's close to the corner. He gets there. But they will have to check it. But Fiji might have just got another try straight back. And this side, and also we have got there Fiji, says Viniana, and also never down New Zealand, and also coming All Blacks. We need a win. And wow, what a comeback, says Rice. So they are going to be checking this one for Nathunio now. Was he able to get it down in the corner? He had Leroy Carter, McGarvey, Black trying to stop him as well. Right, he's still in his hands, still in his hands, still in his hands. He's dropped it. He's dropped it at the last moment. And other than that, it would have been a try. And don't worry, soon New Zealand's still going to win this, or going to win this. There's done on also Fiji games. And as well as says regional. Yeah, the next match that Fiji have got, it is either going to be at the third place playoff game at 4:28, or if they win this game, 4:58 a.m. New Zealand time. So be sure to tune in for those ones, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But it is going to be a no try now, I believe, for Nathunio, as that ball has slipped out of his hands. Okay, they're checking this many times. Okay, what are they going to say? McCarvey Black's going over and just asking the question. He's been told to go away. He's lost control of the ball, they have said, and also there has been a New Zealand win. There's still time. 1 minute, 8 seconds. Fiji only needed 8 seconds to be able to get themselves the first try of the match. And also, how many minutes left? Says Kitioni, just the one. And come on, Fiji, go for it. Says Serena there. And the Fijian fans, they are not too happy at the moment. And attendance, but 5 meters out from their line. That is actually one of the first errors we have seen from Fiji when it comes to the handling in this semi-final matchup. But 1 minute 8, New Zealand 5 meters out from their line with their scrum. Going to be an important one for the McGarvey Black. Just looking up at the clock, knowing exactly how much time they do have to spend. They're inside of their own in goal area. And now Joe Weber kicks it downfield. Different tactic there from New Zealand, but Caleb Tangitau is after it, and it doesn't sit up for him. He knocked it on, I believe. He doesn't feel he knocked it on. Now they are going to be going back. I think that could also be strategic by using a little bit more time by running away. It does actually use up the clock. And also Fiji going to score, I think, and what time wasn't finished. And there's his Pasan. So we are currently sitting with 40 seconds left. This clock is a little bit wrong. It's a bit ahead. At least show the Kiwi, says Kitioni there, and go Fiji. And also try, please, says Kalevi. And also Coach Fiji, says Anna. And also we only need 9 seconds to score, says Kitioni. Exactly right. And go Fiji, go, says Regional. And also Fiji going to score, I think, says Rice. I've got that feeling as well. They are always a side that no matter what, you cannot count them out. Also we got there, come on, says Ollie. And also at the moment, Fiji are on an 18, or in fact a 19-game winning streak at Twickenham. They do not want it to come to an end here, but they have got the scrum feed. Nathunio off. 28 seconds left on the clock for Fiji. Ever Fiji, says Viniana. Also, Ollie has got the prayer in hands as well. Yeah, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back for the matchup between Samoa and Australia in only about 3 minutes' time or so will be when that game has taken place. So we are transferring straight over to that next one. And also, we've got that video, Fiji, says Matua. And also, come on, Fiji, says Kalevi. But that is the link to the Kiwi Lad Sport channel for anyone who does want to check that out. We are going to be having plenty more sports content on there. Now, nice ball on the outside. My Samoa has got it with 10 seconds left. A handling error now from Fiji could cost them the semi-final. A backline movement of elegance and class like Fiji know how could get them the win. Moving up to 25 meters out now. New Zealand over the ball. They have been able to take it cleanly, and now all New Zealand do need to do is take it straight back, and now they will put it into the pocket. Kitioni Vai will run it away. And he runs it dead as well. And New Zealand will win this match 22 points to 19. Extremely close. But Fiji just missing out on that one. So they will now go on to face off against the loser of the match between Samoa and Australia. But we will be covering that one a little bit later on the channel as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Check out the Kiwi Lad Sport, and I will see you all back in a very short moment for our next live stream for Samoa versus Australia. But I will see you all in a very short moment.